It was connected to an IV bag, wasn't it?
That is correct, sir.
And the IV bag that it was connected to was a saline bag.
That is correct.
And you could actually see, in the photos that were shown earlier, you can actually see the saline in the bag.
Correct.
Now, you would agree with me that that bag looks clear to you.
Yes, sir, it does.
And there was nothing connected, or your testimony today is there was nothing connected to any other bag. Is that right?
Ask that one more time, please.
Was there a tubing, an IV tubing connected to anything other than that one saline bag?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
Okay. When did you first discuss with Fahim Muhammad and Michael Amir Williams about going to the police, talking to the police again?
I believe it was a couple of days after, or a few days after, when I saw this report on CNN, where detectives are coming out of the Carrollwood property, and they were talking and that they had collected evidence, and in the evidence that they collected, there's footage of one of the detectives walking out with a bag, and inside that bag there was a baby blue bag, or a blue bag that resembled the one where I dropped the IV or the saline bag. And then right after that, they were talking about propofol and or the agent that was used to induce Mr. Jackson.
And when they talked about propofol, they talked about it being milky?
That is correct.
You heard that?
Yes.
And they talked about Dr. Murray?
I believe so, yes.
You heard that?
Yes.
And all of that was made known to you before you decided to call the police, right?
When I saw that report, sir, is when I realized that I had touched something that resembled that milky white substance, sir. So I felt that it was important for me to report that.
The milky white substance that you heard on TV, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. We haven't seen any photos of milky white substance. You're talking about what you've heard from CNN.
Sustained.
Well, any other stories that you listened to, Mr. Alvarez, prior
no,
to calling
sir.
the police?
That was the one that triggered me to feel that it was very important for me to relay this information to law enforcement.
So then you called Michael Amir Williams?
Yes, I did.
You called Fahim Muhammad?
No, sir.
It was Fahim Muhammad actually who hired a lawyer, isn't that right?
Objection.
Relevance.
Sustained 350, 352.
One of the things you said in your testimony today was that it's just been so hard on you financially.
Correct.
Isn't that what you said? You kind of
Yes, sir.
teared up a little bit when you talked about that?
I'm sorry.
You seemed kind of sad when you talked about that.
Oh, it's yes.
Where do you work now?
Objection. Sustained.
Are you saying that you've been unable to get a job since you've been on TV?
I'll overrule the objection, and you may answer.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Are you saying you've been unable to get a job since all this was on TV?
I haven't been able to get consistent work, sir.
What is consistent to you?
Consistent meaning working either 5 days a week or more from what I was used to working, sir.
Well, you work for a security company, is that right?
I do work for it, but I'm an independent contractor, and they call me as they need me.
And you work for a security company that's owned by whom?
I'm sorry?
Who owns the security company?
I actually work for an independent contract for 3 companies right now, sir.
All right. Well, who is Mike LePerrique?
Objection. Relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained 350, 352.
Mr. Alvarez, you said that you started working for Mr. Jackson in 2004. Is that your testimony?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you say that you started working for him in 2004, are you saying that you worked for a long period of time for him since 2004?
No, sir. It was on and off.
All right, on and off. And who hired you to work for Michael Jackson in 2004?
At that time,
Overruled. You may answer.
at that time, I believe it was Bashir, sir.
Bashir. Was he head of security at that time?
I believe so, yes.
And how long did you work for Michael Jackson in 2004?
It was about 6 months, I would say, something to that regards.
And were you logistics director at that time?
No, sir.
So you were accompanied Michael Jackson places he needed to go in 2004?
He didn't travel much, but I believe we did. We did do it.
And where was it that you worked for him?
Where?
Yes, where?
I remember them getting a
Objection of relevance, Your Honor.
I'll overrule the objection within the limits of 352. You may answer. You're talking about an actual geographic
Yes,
location,
right.
if you remember?
I believe it was Beverly Hills, sir.
Beverly Hills.
Yes.
And you worked for him for 6 months?
Yes, sir.
And how did you end that job with him?
They just, they didn't need us any longer, and they relieved me.
They didn't need security any longer?
They didn't need me, sir. I
They
don't
didn't
know.
need you. And then did you work for Michael Jackson again after that? Between
Yes, I did.
2004 and 2009?
Yes, I did.
All right, when was that?
After that, I believe it was
2007. And that was in Las Vegas, is that
Correct.
right?
yes,
You worked for him for about 2 months.
a few months. I
And what
believe.
was the purpose of your employment then?
It was security.
Security.
Yes.
All right. Since 2007, between that period of time, those 2 months in 2007 and end of 2009, had you worked for Michael Jackson?
I did, sir.
All right. And where was that?
In Las Vegas.
And when was this?
It was 2008, sir.
And how did you get that job?
I got the job through Michael Amir.
How long did that last?
Only a couple, I would say from 2 to 3 months, sir.
And subsequent to the time after the death of Michael Jackson, you began working for the Jackson family.
It was in February or March of 2010. I was offered a position to secure the children, sir.
You were offered the position or you sought out the position?
Well, sir, I would periodically call just to check on the children and see how they were doing. And I would speak to Miss Jackson's assistant and just, like I said, to check on the children. And, we started talking and it came to the conclusion or we came to an agreement that it might be possible that I can obtain the job as security for the children.
When did you start discussing this job with the Jacksons?
Objection of relevance, Your Honor.
Overrule. You may answer.
It was just, it could have been like November or December of 2009.
A few months after your conversation with police?
August, yeah. Yes.
And how long did you work for the Jacksons?
Not long, sir. It was like 2 months.
Since that time, then, you have said you have been around other celebrity clients?
I've had the privilege to work with other celebrities.
And
yes.
who would that be?
Objection of relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained. 350, 352.
Can we approach sidebar?
Sure.